That's a whole bunch of antifreeze. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Flat Thunder channel. My name's Andy, and this is a boat, obviously, right? It's equipped with a Mercruiser inboard-outboard drive. We're going to use this Prestone antifreeze and our homemade winterization bucket to winterize the engine and the drive unit. We have all the red antifreeze for the onboard water cooling system and the onboard air conditioning unit. Stay tuned. We're going to use all these products and some homemade components to winterize this boat and prepare it for the cold winter months. One of the first steps if your boat was in the water for any length of time is you want to inspect the intake grate down here to make sure it's clear of any obstructions. Let's get down here and take a look. This is the intake grate, and all these holes are the water inlets. If you can tell, they're obstructed with zebra mussels. Now this unit was already pressure washed and cleaned after it came out of the water, but we still have a whole bunch of zebra mussels hanging out there waiting to die, if they're not dead already. So here's the water intake. As you can see, the zebra mussels are clogging up the holes. So you need to get that off of there and clean that out. Oh yeah, just a few zebra mussels in there. Here's the other side. So those had to grow inside of there because they're too big to get through the holes. Let's get those out of there. This is our homemade antifreeze supply bucket. It's basically a 5-gallon bucket. It has a fitting and a valve epoxied into the bottom. You can turn it on and off. We have a short section of hose. We connect that to our muffs on the outdrive, set this on the swim platform, and voila, we have our antifreeze solution supplied to our outdrive and our engine. Let's make sure our valve is off and fill this with appropriate mixture. This is concentrate Prestone. That's 2 full gallons. We'll put in this half gallon, and we'll top it off with a couple of the old jugs filled with water. We just put in 2.5 gallons of concentrate antifreeze. I'm gonna go fill these 2 jugs up with water, straight water, and then if we put these 2 in, we'll know that we are definitely slightly more than 50% mixture, and that should be perfect for this application. He's a little short of full 5 gallons, but it has enough mixture in it so we can winterize the engine. We're going to go ahead and sit it on the swim platform and attach our short section of hose. Now is the time if you want to add any fuel stabilizer to your fuel tank. You want to do that before you run the engine for the last time. I like to use Stabil brand fuel stabilizer. I've used it for years and it works great. Now we're going to take off the fuel fill cap and dump in a whole jug of this. And I did exactly what I said not to do. I spilled it. I think that happens every time. So this is a setup we're going to try to reclaim all the antifreeze once we turn it on. It's an old Tupperware like storage bin and some cardboard to catch what sprays out up here. Hopefully funnels it all back into this bin so we can recycle it. One of the most important steps is to start the engine with a normal hose and muff connection. That way you can get it up to normal operating condition before hooking up the antifreeze solution. Otherwise, you're just going to dump all your antifreeze solution on the ground and or in your catch bucket. You need to make sure that thermostat is open so it pumps it through the engine and all the internal components. So let's get this hose turned on, fire this engine up, warm her up to operating temperature. The 160 mark should be good. Engine's all warmed up with the standard muffs and standard water connection. We got our antifreeze bucket hooked up. We got the short hose hooked up to the muffs, and then we also have our catch pan and our little drainage ramp to try to capture all the antifreeze that we can and get it back in this bucket to recycle it. I have my Sta-Bil fogging oil prepared. I have the flame arrestor bolt off. That's all we have to do. Turn our valve on for our antifreeze. Start the boat. Let it run until we get down to about yay far on the bottom of the bucket here. And then we'll stall it out with the fogging oil. Now it's time to move on to the water system. If you haven't already, drain all the water out of your water tank and add in pink RV antifreeze. There's one jug. We're going to add 3 more, so we have 4 jugs in the tank, and we can use that to winterize the entire water system. Alright, I'm going to save this part of this jug, that way we can dump it in some of the drains that do not have a pressurized connection. Here's our water tank. It's got a good amount of antifreeze in the bottom there, and now we're ready to winterize the rest of the water system. This boat is equipped with an onboard air conditioner, so it has a water strainer with a seacock fitting on the bottom of the boat. To winterize the air conditioning unit, which pumps water through, I have a bypass valve installed here. So if I turn this valve, the water pump is going to pump water through the air conditioning circuit and fill the strainer. So as long as we close the seacock, it's going to pump the antifreeze solution into the strainer and then back through the air conditioner in the cabin. So now I'm going to open my bypass valve and then turn on my water pump and look for antifreeze coming out of the air conditioner drain. Basically looking for that water up there to start coming out red. Oh, there she is. She's pink already. Good to go there. One thing that might be important to note is some people, if you have a hot water heater, will bypass the hot water heater and just drain it. This particular boat does not have a hot water heater, so we're just flushing all the lines with red antifreeze. Now we're at the faucet inside. We want to open both sides of the valve until we get pink coming out of the unit. That just makes a huge mess that splashes everywhere. We got pink on that side. Still white on this side. Now she's pink. Onto the head, aka the bathroom. Looks like we're good and pink there. So stinks. Alright, now I need to try to do the shower head. I hate the way this stuff smells. Here's where the other jug comes into play. This is a pump out head, but it has a holding tank for a rinse. Look at that, it's already got red stuff in it. Good deal. Now as long as that was pumped out, we should be good to go. We'll put just a little in there. And also this shower, this is a shower. There's a drain over there that you want to turn the drain pump on, which is over here. You want to turn this drain pump on and dump a little of your antifreeze in your drain pump. Let her eat. Alright. Conveniently, it started raining when we were about 85% done. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I got water dripping off my hat. There's water everywhere. But we are done. So let's hit on the key important pieces to winterizing your boat. Step one, you want to make sure you winterize the engine and the outdrive by starting it, warming it up, and then recirculating antifreeze solution through the engine and the transmission. Step two, you want to winterize your water system by removing all the water, putting in red antifreeze and making sure it's pumped through all the lines. Step four, you want to make sure all your drains have antifreeze in them. And your holding tank, if you were to have a holding tank, make sure it's empty and add some antifreeze to that. The only other thing that we didn't do in this video, the customer's still going to work on the boat before it's put in permanent storage, so we left the batteries on the boat. If you were to put this boat in permanent storage when everything's done, you're going to want to remove the batteries so you have it in a safe place that isn't super cold, that you can recharge them periodically throughout the winter months. So this boat's done. I'm all wet. I got to get out of here. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave all your questions and comments in that section below. And don't forget to tickle that subscribe button on your way out. I'm all dirty. I smell like antifreeze and I'm wet. I gotta get out of here. We'll catch you next time.